Have you ever woken up feeling like life is already 5 steps ahead of you? The alarm goes off. You're already tired. Notifications flood your phone. You rush through your morning like you're chasing something, but you're not even sure what it is. Feels like you're living in a fog. You're busy, overwhelmed, always on, but deep down, you're not moving forward. You're stuck. If that hits home, you're not alone. For so many people, especially today, life feels like chaos. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind. The kind that shows up as confusion, anxiety, or just that lingering feeling that you were meant for more, but you can't quite reach it. The good news is, clarity isn't something you're born with. Something you build, one choice at a time. And today you'll learn how. In this video, we're going to break down 9 simple, powerful shifts that can help you go from scattered to focused, from exhausted to energized, from lost to aligned with purpose. These aren't just theories. They're time-tested practices, inspired by some of the most powerful voices in personal growth, Jim Rohn, Dr. Jordan Peterson, and others who have helped millions transform their lives. You don't need a miracle. You need a method. And the first step is here. Take a deep breath. Because what you're about to discover might just be the beginning of your breakthrough. If you want clarity in your life, it starts on the inside. Before you can lead, achieve, or grow, you have to master the lens through which you see the world. That lens is your attitude. As the late Jim Rohn said, your attitude determines your altitude. It's not just a nice quote. It's a truth that can change everything. Your attitude affects how you approach problems, how you treat people, and whether you see challenges as setbacks or stepping stones. Jim Rohn himself knew this firsthand. Early in his life, he was broke, underperforming, and making excuses. That's when he met his mentor, Earl Schoaf, who challenged him to shift his thinking. That single change in attitude, from blaming the world to owning his choices, was the start of everything. Attitude is the entry point, but mindset is the engine. According to Dr. Jordan Peterson, you're not everything you could be, and you know it. That's a hard truth, but also an empowering one. Your mindset is made up of beliefs, and beliefs shape behavior. Take Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for example. After being cut from his football dream, he hit rock bottom, depressed, broke, uncertain. But instead of staying stuck, he rebuilt his identity. He shifted from "why me" to "what can I become?" That mindset didn't just fuel his comeback. It transformed him into a global force. It's not about pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing what you focus on. And that's where gratitude enters the picture. Science backs it. Practicing gratitude activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus, emotion regulation, and motivation. And here's what's powerful. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it rewires how you experience them. Michael Phelps, the most decorated Olympian of all time, struggled with ADHD and mental health issues throughout his career. He credits daily gratitude practices and journaling for helping him stay grounded, even in the face of fame and pressure. And then there's Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx. Long before she was a billionaire, she was selling fax machines door to door. Every day she practiced gratitude, not for the success she didn't have yet, but for the effort she was making. That mindset didn't just carry her forward. It built resilience, creativity, and unstoppable belief. Attitude, mindset, gratitude. These aren't just buzzwords. They're tools. And when you use them daily, even in small ways, you create space for clarity to take root. So ask yourself right now, what belief is holding you back? What could shift if you saw your day through a more grateful lens? What would change if, just for today, you chose a better attitude? Because everything changes when your inner world aligns. You can have a great attitude and a powerful mindset, but if you don't follow through with action, clarity never becomes reality. That's where self-discipline comes in. Jim Rohn called discipline the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's not about being perfect. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. Oprah Winfrey learned that lesson early in her career. She was fired from her first news job, told she wasn't fit for television. But instead of quitting, she doubled down on her growth. She disciplined her emotions, studied her craft, and stayed focused on her voice. That decision didn't just launch a career. It built a movement. And discipline doesn't work in isolation. It's powered by how you manage your most limited resource, time. As Robin Sharma says, own your morning. Elevate your life. Because time slips through your fingers when you don't tell it where to go. Start your day with intention. Schedule your priorities. Say no to what doesn't align. Kobe Bryant lived by that principle. While most people were sleeping, he was already training. 4:30 a.m. workouts. Representatives practice. Study. That discipline with time didn't just make him great. It made him legendary. And it wasn't talent. It was structure. Commitment. The more you value your time, the more your results multiply. And if you want to stay sharp, you need to feed your mind. That's where lifelong learning comes in. The world's most successful people are always learning. Not because they have to, but because they know growth stops the moment learning stops. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, says that small consistent actions shape your identity. He reads every day not for speed but for depth. Just 10 pages. A notebook. A highlight. That habit alone has impacted millions. And Tom Bilyeu, founder of Quest Nutrition, built his entire business on what he learned outside of school. He created a personal learning system, reading books, watching lectures, and applying ideas like his future depended on it, because it did. Lifelong learners are leaders. Not because they know it all, but because they never stop seeking. So let me ask you this. What could you do with just 1 hour of focused time each morning? What would your life look like if you committed to finishing what you start? Who could you become if you decided to learn something new every single day? Because the version of you that has clarity, purpose, and momentum is on the other side of structure. You can have discipline, time, and the drive to grow, but if you don't know why you're doing it, it can all start to feel empty. That's the power of purpose. Dr. Jordan Peterson teaches that the purpose of life is finding the heaviest burden you can bear and bearing it. Why? Because meaning doesn't come from comfort. It comes from responsibility, from direction. J.K. Rowling was a single mom living on welfare when she wrote the first Harry Potter book in cafes. What gave her strength wasn't just imagination, it was purpose. She wrote to give her daughter a better life. That why carried her through rejection after rejection. Purpose kept her going when nothing else made sense. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you build. It starts with reflection, then grows through action. But purpose is only as strong as your ability to express it. That's where communication matters. Jim Rohn once said, effective communication is 20% what you know, 80% how you feel about what you know. The most successful people in the world aren't just smart, they know how to connect. Brené Brown became a global voice by teaching the power of vulnerability. Her research showed that people trust those who speak with honesty, not perfection. Maya Angelou, through poetry and truth, moved generations by speaking from the soul. They didn't just talk, they resonated. When you communicate with clarity and heart, people listen. And more importantly, you start to listen to yourself. Which brings us to the final piece of clarity, your finances. Money isn't just about math. It's about emotion, habits, and intention. Jim Rohn used to say, it's not the amount that counts, it's the plan. Chris Gardner's story is proof. He went from homelessness to Wall Street success. Not by winning the lottery, but by budgeting every dollar, showing up early, staying late, and refusing to let his circumstances define him. His life became the movie The Pursuit of Happiness because it showed the truth. Financial clarity is built, not given. James Clear reminds us that your habits shape your identity. So when you choose to manage your money with discipline, you become the kind of person who can build wealth over time. So ask yourself, what's driving you right now? Comfort or purpose? How can you start speaking your truth more clearly? What's one small change you can make today to take control of your money? Because purpose without communication is silent. And growth without financial clarity? Fragile. But when you align all three, you don't just change your direction. You transform your entire life. Let's take a breath and look back. You've just explored 9 simple but powerful shifts that can turn chaos into clarity. It starts with your attitude, the way you choose to see the world. Then your mindset, what you believe about yourself and what's possible. And your gratitude, the daily practice that helps you focus on what's right, not just what's missing. With that foundation, you add self-discipline, time management, and a commitment to lifelong learning. That's how momentum is built, through daily actions that may seem small but add up in a massive way. And finally, you align all of that with purpose, strengthen it through clear communication, and stabilize it with smart financial habits. These aren't ideas to remember. They're choices to live. The truth is, clarity isn't something you magically find one day. It's something you create, step by step, shift by shift. So here's the question that matters now. Which one of these 9 will you start with today? You don't need to do everything at once. Just choose one. Practice it. Feel it. Own it. Because small daily improvements lead to big lasting change. If this message spoke to you, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and share it with someone who's ready to rise. Your life is not defined by the chaos around you. It's shaped by the clarity you choose to create, starting now. Hey, incredible growth seekers. Wow, what a journey. If this video resonated, subscribe now for more life-changing content. Join our community of self-improvers. Smash that like button to fuel more content on mindfulness, goal setting, and emotional intelligence. Share this video to create a ripple of positive change. Comment below about your growth journey. Your insights shape our content. Next week, boosting self-confidence and overcoming limiting beliefs. Don't miss it. Every interaction brings us closer to a world of empowered individuals. Let's make personal development global. Stay inspired, keep growing. Your best self awaits. Let's unlock it together.